Hello friends, welcome to today's session. I'm Soni and today the session is on exercises on future tense. When do we come to this session? When we've done all the forms of a tense. So we've covered all the 4 forms of future tense and now is the exercise time. Let me tell you about the aims or the objectives of the program today. First, we'll review the simple future tense. We'll revise it. Then, we'll go ahead and do an exercise based on simple future tense. Then, we'll revise the future continuous tense followed by an exercise on it. Then, we move on to the future perfect tense, again followed by an exercise, and last but not the least we'll do the future perfect continuous tense with some activities. So let's get started with the session today and let's revise what do we mean by simple future tense. Simple future tense, you need to use the words will or shall plus the first form of the verb. Will shall यूज करना है और verb का first form. Let me give you some examples. I will call you when I arrive. You've used the first form of arrive and you've also used the word will to denote that it is future tense. मैं तुम्हें कॉल करूंगा जब मैं पहुंच जाऊंगा. This is what it means. Another example. I won't tell anyone your secret. It is also simple future but a negative sentence. Won't, जहाँ पे not आ गया वहाँ पे negativity आ गई. Another example. Who are you going to invite to the party? Who all are you going to invite? Telling about an action that will take place in the future. This is an example of interrogative sentence. So we've seen an example of positive, then negative, and then a question or interrogative sentence. By now I hope you remember what is simple future tense. Let's discuss some more examples before we move on to the exercise. I promise I will not tell him about the surprise party. Future tense in negative sense. Next, don't worry, I will be careful or I'll be careful, the contraction. Next, I am going to be an actor when I grow up. You are telling your future plans or your aim. I am going to be. I am going to be tells about simple future. Another example. I shall work hard to achieve my goals. You have planned that you will work hard. I shall work hard. Again showing future tense in its simple form. So enough of revision. Now is the exercise time. The exercise is choose the right option. You need to select whether you would use will or won't. These are the 2 options you have. इन दोनों में से क्या ठीक रहता है depending on the statement. Will or won't. First, don't get up. I dash answer the phone. This exercise is there in the workbook. You can find it there. Now remember, this dash needs to be filled in by either a will or a won't. Okay? And same applies to all the other questions. Next, if you eat too much, you dash put on weight. If you eat too much, you dash put on weight. Will or won't. Next, don't stay out too late. You dash get up on time. Don't stay out too late. You dash get up on time. Next, I don't think she dash passed the exam. She isn't very good. I don't think she dash passed the exam. She isn't very good. Next, you may as well go home now. I dash be back for hours. You may as well go home now. I dash be back for hours. I hope you're doing the exercise while I'm reading out the sentences to you, because end में मैं आपको इतना टाइम नहीं दूंगी कि अब आप बैठ जाओ करने, साथ साथ ही करते रहो. Okay? Next, go to bed and you dash feel better tomorrow. Go to bed and you dash feel better tomorrow. Next one, it's Mary's birthday next month. She dash be 18. It's Mary's birthday next month. She dash be 18. Next, they are on holiday for 2 weeks, so they dash be here tomorrow. They are on holiday for 2 weeks, so they dash be here tomorrow. Next, dash they want dinner. Dash they want dinner. It's a question. Next, if the weather is okay, the plane dash leave on time. Okay, so quickly fill in the blanks with will or won't depending upon the sentence. From the sentence, it's easy to make out कहाँ will है, positive है या कहाँ negative है. So it's not a big problem for you. Done? Okay, let's check the answers. First, don't get up. I will answer the phone. Because if you're telling someone don't get up, that means you will answer. If you will not answer and you are asking him not to get up, तो answer कौन करेगा फिर? This is how you need to make out whether to use will or to use won't. Next, if you eat too much, you will put on weight. Have you ever seen someone who's eating too much and will not put on weight? Nahi na? So the word used is will. Next, don't stay out too late. You won't get up on time. Because अगर बाहर ही घूमते रहोगे तो सुबह जल्दी नहीं उठ पाओगे. Okay? Next, I don't think she will pass the exam. She isn't very good. Next one, you may as well go home now. I won't be back for hours. Because if you will be back, then you will not ask him to go home. If you are asking him to go home, it means you won't. Do you understand how to make out whether to use will or won't? Good. Next, go to bed and you will feel better tomorrow. Because I don't think anyone will not feel better by going to bed. Next, it's Mary's birthday next month. She will be 18. They are on holiday for 2 weeks, so they won't be here tomorrow. क्योंकि वो छुट्टी मनाने गए हुए हैं. Next, will they want dinner? You're asking a question. Next one, if the weather is okay, the plane will leave on time. There will be no obstruction or no hindrance. So, was this an easy exercise? Yes, and I'm sure it was easy for all of you. You've done so much of practice by now that doing simple exercises should not be a problem for you anymore. Now let's move on to the future continuous form of the tense. Continuous means the verb has to be used with ing, and because it is future, you will have to use will or shall be. I will be doing this, I shall be doing this. Let me give you some examples. Tonight at 6 p.m. I will be eating dinner. That means the process of eating dinner would be going on, continuous. Next, will you be going to the bank this afternoon? A question. Then, I will be studying tonight. Again, a future plan that will be going on. Next, I will not be cooking dinner myself. Will not means कि ये एक negative sentence है जो नहीं होगा. So we've expressed a positive, a negative and an interrogative sentence using future continuous form. Let's see some more examples. Will you be using the car this evening? A question. क्या तुम कार यूज कर रहे होंगे? Will it be going on this evening? Next, tonight we will be eating dinner, discussing our plans and having a good time. The three verbs eating, discussing and having all are used with ing because the sentence depicts a future continuous tense. Next, on Sunday, I will be playing football at school. Next, I will not be taking a traveling job anymore. Will not be taking shows that the sentence is in future continuous form. So, let's move on to the exercise time based on the future simple or continuous tense. We've done the simple tense already. We just did the continuous tense. Now you tell me that whether the blank will be filled by a simple future form of the verb or a future continuous form of the verb. मैं एक blank पढ़ूंगी, आपको verb भी बताऊंगी. आप या तो simple form या continuous form से verb को use करके blank fill in करना. Okay? Let's start with the exercise. Right now, I'm watching TV. Tomorrow at this time, I dash TV as well. The verb is watch. Right now, I'm watching TV. Tomorrow at this time, I dash TV as well. Don't look at me. The exercise is in the workbook. Next. Tomorrow after school, I dash to the beach. The verb is go. Tomorrow after school, I dash to the beach. Next one. While you dash at home, Megha dash in class. The two verbs are study and be. You can use them either in the simple or the continuous form depending on the sentence. Next. When you dash off the bus, I dash for you. When you dash off the bus, I dash for you. The two verbs are got, wait. Next one. I'm sick of rain and bad weather. Hopefully, when we dash up tomorrow morning, the sun dash. I'm sick of rain and bad weather. Hopefully, when we dash up tomorrow morning, the sun dash. The two verbs are wake and shine. Next one and the last one. If you dash to contact me sometime next week, I dash with my sister. The two verbs are need and stay. If you dash to contact me sometime next week, I dash with my sister. I hope आपकी एक्सरसाइज होगी ख़त्म. अब तक तो आपको पता चल गया होगा कि साथ साथ में एक्सरसाइज करनी होती है. गुड. लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द आंसर्स. Right now I am watching TV. Tomorrow at this time I will be watching TV as well. Next, tomorrow after school I will go to the beach. Next, while you will be studying at home, Megha will be in class. Next one, when you will get off the bus, I will be waiting for you. Next, I'm sick of rain and bad weather. Hopefully, when we shall wake up tomorrow morning, the sun will be shining. And the last one, if you will need to contact me sometime next week, I will be staying with my sister. So some of the blanks were filled with the simple form of future tense and some were filled with the continuous form. Let's move on with the session and let's start with the future perfect tense. Because it is perfect, you need to use the word will have been. Will have been. Plus the verb has to be in the third form. We'll take examples right now. We will have worked at the school for 25 years next week. Will have worked. Will have and work is in the third form. Another one. My brother will be tired because he will have travelled over 12 hours. Will have travelled. Next. Will the students have finished their exams tomorrow? So this time will have is not together, but the entire sentence, the question is in the future perfect tense. Next, they'll have finalized their business by noon. Or you can expand it by saying they will have finalized. Next, will they have copied all that material by Friday morning? Will they have copied all that material by Friday morning? All these examples are there in your workbook. Next, they won't have organized this course by the end of this year. They won't have organized this course by the end of this year. It is a negative statement, but in future perfect form. Organize is in the third form. It becomes organized. Last example. I will have finished this book by the end of the week. Will have finished again shows future perfect. चलो एग्जाम्पल्स हो गए, अब एक्सरसाइज हो जाए. So in the exercise, you need to use the future perfect tense of the verb that I'll tell you. It's a fill in the blanks exercise. Let's start with it. By next November, I dash my promotion. The verb is receive. Next, by the time he gets home, she dash the entire house. The verb is clean. You can see it in your workbooks. Next, I dash this test by 3 o'clock. The verb is not finish. Negative statement. Next, by the time I finish this course, I dash 10 tests. The verb is take. Next, how many countries dash by the time you turn 50? It's a question. The verb you can use is visit. Next one, I dash in Delhi for 6 months by the time I leave. The verb is be. Use it so that the sentence becomes in the future perfect form. Next, by Monday, Seema dash my book for a week. The verb is have. The last one is, I'm going to see a movie when I dash my homework. You can use the verb finish. Let's check the answers. By next November, I will have received my promotion. Because it is in the future perfect form, will have के साथ you have used the third form of the word receive. Next, by the time he gets home, she will have cleaned the entire house. Next,
I will not have finished
this test by 3 o'clock. Did you get this one right? Good. Next, by the time I finish this course, I will have taken 10 tests. Next, how many countries
will you have
visited by the time you turn 50? Next one, I will have been in Delhi for 6 months by the time I leave. अब तक सारे ठीक हैं? चलो आगे देखते हैं. Just 2 left. By Monday, Seema will have had my book for a week. Will have had means इतना टाइम उसके पास हो चुका होगा. And the last one, I'm going to see a movie when I will have finished my homework. Done? Good. Now comes the time for the last form of future tense, which is the future perfect continuous form. In the future perfect continuous tense, you use the words will have been plus the verb with ing. Will have been plus verb and ing attached to it. Let's see some examples. You will have been waiting for more than 2 hours when the VIP arrives. You will have been waiting. Will have been as it is और wait का waiting ing add करके. Some more examples.
Will you have
been waiting for more than 2 hours when the VIP arrives? The same positive statement is now framed as a question. Now let's frame it as a negative sentence.
Will you not have been waiting
for more than 2 hours when the VIP arrives?
Will you not
से वो negative हो गया. Let's see more examples. They will have been talking for over an hour by the time Thomas arrives. Will have been talking denoting perfect and continuous form of future. She will have been working at that company for 3 years when it finally closes. Next, Mrs. Sabharwal will have been teaching at the university for more than a year by the time she leaves for Bombay. Another example, this time it is in the form of a question. How long will you have been studying when you graduate? How long will you have been studying when you graduate? Another example, we will have been traveling for over 3 days straight when we get to Kanyakumari. We will have been traveling, हमें travel करते हुए 3 दिन से ऊपर हो जाएंगे. This is the Hindi translation of this tense. Got all the examples? Understood the tense? Good. Let's see certain interrogative and negative statements using the future perfect continuous tense. Interrogative means question. When you finish your English course, will you have been living in New Zealand for over a year? You're asking someone that tomorrow or maybe later when you finish your course, तो क्या तुम्हें इंग्लैंड में रहते हुए 1 साल से ज़्यादा हो गया होगा? This is what you mean by this. Will you have been living is in the future perfect continuous state. Another example of a negative statement. The person replies, no, I will not have been living here that long. नहीं, मुझे इतना टाइम नहीं हुआ होगा. So the same tense is now used to express a negative statement. Let's do an exercise where you're supposed to fill in the blanks with either the future perfect or the future perfect continuous tense. दोनों में से जो भी ज़्यादा appropriate है उससे fill in the blanks करना है. First, by the time we reach home, we dash more than 400 kilometers. We are going to be very tired. The verb is drive. It's there in your exercise book. By the time we reach home, we dash more than 400 kilometers. We are going to be very tired. Next, when Sarita takes the interview next month, she dash English for over 8 years. She should be able to speak well. When Sarita takes the interview next month, she dash English for over 8 years. She should be able to speak well. The verb is study. Next one. I have not travelled much yet, but I dash the Qutub Minar and the Lotus Temple by the time I leave Delhi. The verb is visit. I have not travelled much yet, but I dash the Qutub Minar and the Lotus Temple by the time I leave Delhi. Next one. By the time you finish studying the sessions on tenses, you dash all the 12 tenses. By the time you finish studying the sessions on tenses, you dash all the 12 tenses. The verb is master. Next, I dash my homework by 9 o'clock and will be free to play cricket. The verb is complete. The last one is, In June, my grandparents dash married for 50 years. In June, my grandparents dash married for 50 years. The verb is be, the correct form of be. Done the exercise? Okay. Now this time I will just tell you the correct answers. I'll just read out the answer that you need to fill in the blank. First, will have driven. Will have driven. It is in the future perfect form. Next, will have been studying. Future perfect continuous. Okay? Next, shall have visited. It's in future perfect form. Next, will have mastered. Will have mastered. Next, will have completed. Future perfect. Last one, will have been married. Again, it's future perfect. So I hope अब तो आप आसानी से पहचान लेते होंगे कौन सा फॉर्म है. हर चीज़ की पहचान होगी. Good. Now I have another exercise for you, and here there are a few questions for you to answer in a rapid fire format. Rapid fire means बस तैयार हो जाओ कमर कस के. Okay, so there are certain questions and you need to answer them. I'll give you one example. Now if a person says, I'm really hungry, what will you do? You will say, okay. No, you will say, I'll make some sandwiches or any other dish. I'm really hungry. If your friend says this to you, I'm very hungry, you will say, okay, I'll get some chocolates or I'll make some sandwiches, anything. Same way, I'll read out a statement to you and you tell me how would you respond. The next sentence or situation is, if someone tells you, I'm so tired, I'm about to fall asleep, what will you say? I'm so tired, I'm about to fall asleep. अपनी response लिखो. हर एक की अलग response होगी, so it's okay. You'll have more than one correct answer. Next, if I say the phone is ringing, what would you say? How would you reply? Write your response. Next, if your friend tells you, I'm thirsty, उसे प्यास लगी तो आप क्या कहोगे? Okay? No, you'll have to give some appropriate answer or try and help him out. Next, now if a person comes to you and says, I'm looking for my friend Harsimrat, what would you say? How would you help him or how would you answer? Next, I can't wait to see Chak De India. Your friend is eager. He desperately wants to see this movie. What will be your response? So, have you mentioned your responses? You have? Okay, let's check certain answers. And I'm telling you, it is possible that the answer that I read out is different from yours. Now, my response might be different from yours because I have my own idea. So what you are required to do is, you need to imagine that situation. For example, the first one I told you, I'm really hungry. Someone is hungry. How can you help that person? Maybe your younger sister, she's hungry. What will you tell her? होती है तो होती रहे. नहीं, जाके उसके कुछ solve करो problem. So how will you solve that problem is the way you need to respond. Let's see some of the responses that I have written for you. I'm so tired, I'm about to fall asleep. Your father comes home and he tells your mother, I'm so tired, I'm about to fall asleep. He's worked all day. What will your mother say? She'll say, I'll get you some coffee. You might have written, I'll get you some tea, I'll get you some juice. All the answers are correct. Next, the phone is ringing. If your friend tells you, both of you are sitting in one room and the phone starts ringing, and he says, oh, the phone is ringing, you can say, I'll take the call. Or don't worry, I'll take the call. Anything. Next, if someone says, I'm thirsty, you'll say, you need to be polite with the person. You can say, I'll get you a cold drink, or I'll get you a glass of water, or simply, I'll get you something to drink. कुछ भी कह सकते हो इनमें से, या जो आपने लिखा है वो भी अपनी टीचर को दिखाना. That could also be right. Next, hello, I'm looking for my friend Harsimrat. अगर कोई तुमसे पूछता है I'm looking for my friend Harsimrat, that means indirectly that person is asking you, कहीं तुमने उसे देखा है? What will you say? You can say, please take a seat. I'll let her know that you are here. You'll inform Harsimrat that her friend has come to meet her. But first, you be polite and make the friend comfortable by saying, please take a seat. Next, I can't wait to see Chak De India. Your friend is very excited and he wants to see this movie. What can you say? So you can tell your friend, may I accompany you? I'll get the tickets. You're being so nice. We're even offering to get the tickets. So this exercise not only told you how to respond, how to correct your grammar, but also told you how to be polite and what are the appropriate responses in different situations. So as far as the exercise session on the future tense was concerned, we are through with the session. I hope you've practiced future tense and by now you've even mastered the future tense. So until next time, you take care and keep learning.